Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
And I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome. Each week on So Fired, we take life's shitty things and turn them into pretty things.
And we share all of our issues because they're endless. And this week we have a very special guest on. We have a content creator on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Tyler Benderr. Yay!
Hi! Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to chat with you ladies.
We are even more excited. So
yeah. Okay, so Tyler, what we do each week when we start on So Fired, we
have a So Fired moment of the week. Basically where we take something shitty and we turn it into pretty. No matter how minute it could be.
Okay.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
Yeah, I do. Please.
Okay. So this last weekend, Chelsea took me to the CU Buffs game, Colorado football, whatever. I don't know if you're like into it or not. I'm not that into it.
I'm not a sports girl. No.
Okay. So it's a football team, and they're a big deal this year. So Chelsea invites me to go, and we get there, and like our tickets are okay, whatever. Like I don't really care where we sit in the stadium. But we're kind of in like nosebleedish section with the opposite team. And if Chelsea's not having a good time, like no one's having a good time. And like Chelsea's not having a good time. So I was like, all right, how can we turn this around? Like, come on, let's go wander. I'm like, Chelsea, let's just go like wander. You're like, But through our wandering, we wound up on like the touchdown area in the fifth row.
I think it's called the end zone.
The end zone.
I never checked you on that.
The touchdown area? What did you just... That's why I'm number one in fantasy. Okay, guys.
No, you don't even know the rules.
Okay, anyway.
Okay, but anyways, like, then Chelsea was having a great time, so then we're all having a great time. So we turned those shitty seats into, like, pretty amazing seats.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Tyler, what's yours?
Ooh. Okay, so when you have like an audience online, when your stuff gets a lot of views, people always have things to say about it. So, and sometimes that's super hard. So I came across a video of this lady like totally critiquing and pulling me apart for my Almond Mom bit, which is kind of on point. And I was like so upset by it. But I ended up being really proud of myself because I was able to do some like soul searching and give like a really well thought out response. And then everybody in the comment section was like supportive of me. And I was so scared and I was so proud of myself for standing up for myself and like really being able to pinpoint what I believe in. And so that I turned it into something pretty, I think.
How long did it take you to take a beat?
Ooh, like honestly, it depends, because I think if your content gets over 1 million views, half the comments are just going to be nasty, right? But for people to actually start like engaging in like discourse about me or like as like trying to make assumptions about my character is honestly like a pretty recent thing, and it's been weird.
Oh.
Is that because of your popularity is increasing?
I think it must come with that, because somebody that's like a little bit smaller is probably not worth anybody's time, or like not enough people will like think that unless they do something like truly heinous. But like I have friends that are also in the industry and we talk about this. We'll like go online and find like a whole thread of comments being like, this lady's such a nasty person because I saw that she uses this car, and if you do the math, the gas mileage is bad, and that makes her such a rich, petty piece of garbage. And we're just like, you can't do anything at a certain point. So it's nice to know other people that deal with that. It happens. Like you could pour a bowl of cereal and people will be mad about how you poured that bowl of cereal.
Oh shit.
Oh, I love the creativity that the trolls are coming up with. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, when I was on the other side of it, I would hear people get frustrated about trolls, and I would be like, there's no way that you're being dramatic. And now I'm starting to get on that side about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I get what they mean.
Okay, I'd like to hear more about that, like, because I've been dying to know what that's okay.
We'll circle back.
Okay, yeah, because I do want to. I'm dying to know behind the curtain. Okay, so I'll keep my So Fired quick.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to see what other people see in me.
Oh, and do you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's nothing about that shitty. Yeah.
No, here's why. Because I haven't up to this point.
Oh.
It's been a dumpster fire pretty much until like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But no, I would even say like recently. Like if things feel like they're clicking, like now.
Yeah.
So it took me a minute to get here. It was long.
But rewarding. That
Yeah.
sounds
Yes.
amazing.
We're just on the upswing.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to a couple issues.
What's yours, Lindsay?
I mean, mine's still related to football because when we were at that football game, I realized that Chelsea doesn't know shit about football. You don't know the rules.
So what?
My issue is that you're winning fantasy football and you don't know the rules.
That's okay.
Like that's not fair. I'm very competitive, so like
You gotta stop competing with me.
I'm like, just
we're on the same team of life.
not in fantasy football.
I would share my trophy with you. Actually, I am sharing.
It is. It's at my house.
Anyway.
So I mean, I'll let it slide. I was just like, huh.
Okay, winning fantasy football without even knowing the rules is like the most girl boss thing I've ever heard in my life.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
She's pissed.
I won once. Yeah, she won the last 2 years. Oh, my husband won finally. So I don't know. She's on the comeback again. Like I think she's going to win again this year.
Oh, it's only week 4.
I know.
Soon to be
Honestly,
week 5.
I'm rooting for you.
I'm going to keep the trophy at my house.
Yeah. I hope you win. Anyway, Tyler, do you have any issues?
Issues of the week. These are things that are just like annoying to me right now.
Yeah.
There's always something. I'm like a crotchety old man. Ooh, I hate everybody who lives in this apartment building that I live in for like no reason. I just like everything they do. Everybody here decides to wake up to EDM music. EDM music all hours of the day. And I hear it coming through my wall because the walls are so damn thin. And it's like not good music. One time it was the Me song by Taylor Swift. If you know that song, it's atrocious. EDM, it's like, that's what it sounds like when I wake up. The problem is that it wakes me up. And then my job is filming myself on camera. So I'm trying to get a clean shot. And there's some amateur DJ hour going on outside my window. I'm about to lose it. Yesterday, they did a fire drill, and it was the most absurd, loud fire alarm system I've ever heard in my life. I thought I was dying yesterday. It was terrifying. I ran out to my car, and I whipped around to where our apartment is, and I called my fiance, and I'm like, Mitchell, get in the car. Get in now. I'm like in a Jurassic World movie. He hops in the car, and we like drive away. We're hyperventilating in the Chick-fil-A parking lot, and I'm like, do you think it burnt down? Do you think all our stuff is gone? And he's like, I don't know. It could be anything. It was fine, but that just like, they didn't send out an email or anything saying, guys, that was just a drill. Thanks for participating. Anyway, so I think I'm pretty fired about my apartment this week.
Here's a quick tip, just so you can know. When the apartment building is not completely on fire until the sprinklers start sprinkling.
That is a good tip.
That's how you know, because I too live in an apartment building, and my ex built apartments. So I was always afraid that and he would never get up. And I'd be like, the fire alarm's coming. And I would scoop up the dogs, and we're like running down the like cement stairwell, and he wouldn't even get up. And I was like, oh, you're going to die. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. Smoke until smoke's detected, and it could just be, and then the water comes down and starts ruining your stuff that way. That's when you know there's a real fire.
Wow. Oh, where were you yesterday? I wish I knew that. And I hope whoever's listening takes this home so they don't have the same experience. That is very helpful.
Because now I think everyone's catching on, because they'll go to their balcony if they have one, and they look over the edge to see if anyone else is leaving. And they're like, meh, they're just going to go back to bed.
All right. Do you have an issue?
Do I have an issue? I kind of have an issue with yoga instructors and their music. I have to take your class. I have to perform. You want me to bring my best. I would love it if you did the same. particularly this morning, great class, but she's like, sorry guys, I'm a little late with my fall playlist. I'm still playing my summer playlist.
Oof.
I was like, okay, A, you didn't have to admit it.
Yeah.
The first song was Summertime by Will Smith. And I was like, yes, that's dating us. And it feels awkward, right? We're like spooky season. And you want to talk about summertime? She could have just hit fast forward.
Just on one song.
Oh, it made me so mad. And I was like, why does this make me mad? And it was like, well, just, I don't know. It really got me fired up. And I was super annoyed the whole class. I'm sorry. It was a good class, though. She's very good.
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, let's get to the main event.
Ooh, speaking of issues. Hey, Tyler, question for you. Out of all the nuts, how did you decide on almond nuts?
Ooh, this is a good question. So Almond Mom is a term that kind of started circulating on the internet in like memes. Like people would be like, what's in my Almond Mom's pantry? What is my Almond Mom eating for dinner? So it was already a term because Yolanda Hadid from Real Housewives of New York, I forgot what Real Housewife she was on. Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, she knows.
I know.
Okay.
Can I send, wait, real quick. Do we know what year this is approximately? Okay, fine.
No.
What year were you starting to see it in your memes? Just as reference.
Last summer. So like June 2022.
Okay, very good. Sorry.
So it started to develop in meme culture because this clip of Yolanda Hadid telling Gigi, her daughter Gigi is a model, and she calls her mom and she's like, I'm going to pass out. I feel so sick. And her response is like, only have a couple almonds and just chew them really well and you should be fine. So that clip goes viral and starts circulating, and everybody's like, invents the term almond mom. It's on memes. Everybody's doing it. And so I think really the only thing that I had to contribute was that I think I was one of the first people to turn it into like a skit actually showing the behavior. So I won't say I invented the term almond mom, but I think I was like a pioneer for using it, if that makes sense.
You are a pioneer. I mean, and shout out to Yolanda for getting it started.
Thanks, Yolanda, for being crazy. Wait, question for you. What was the thought process from like watching the memes to like to actually physically creating your character, the almond mom? Like, what did that process look like? Oh, I think I'm going to do this.
Well, I had already made a skit where I was like making fun of things that like, so my mom's a little bit of an almond mom. Right. So I was in like a grocery store and I was just saying like things that she would say or things that like Yolanda Hadid would say in a store about like prebiotic gut soda or protein bars. I was just like making little one-liners about like foods in a grocery store that crazy people say. And then I just was sitting on like 3 videos of this and I was like, oh, I just need to post something. So I was like, I'll just call this almond mom because that term's going super viral right now. Posted it and then it blew up and the rest is kind of history.
Wow. What made you want to start the content creation and TikTok?
I was working in a marketing job, and TikTok was kind of like getting mainstream to the point where everybody who wanted marketing from our company was like, we need to be on TikTok. And nobody knew how to do it since it's such a new frontier. But I had TikTok on my phone since 2019, and I'm like the young one in the office. So it's kind of like you figure it out. And I wanted to be able to excel in my career. So I was like, okay, this seems like a good opportunity. So I started really trying to figure out how it worked, like what I needed to do. I saw a little bit of success. And when you do get success on social media, it's super fun and you keep going. And then I think it was August of 2022 last year where I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually do this full time. So I really started making like a huge push to make it my career. I posted every day. And then I was able to quit my job and go full time on content creation in June of this year.
Congratulations.
Wow, congrats.
Can you tell us what that looks like? Like, what is it like? Oh, I wake up at 6 a.m. and I journal. What is your day? Like, can you tell us a typical day as a content creator?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's actually, I'm going through a phase right now where I'm like, this feels like really easy. Yeah. I'm so confused because a lot of the people in the space when I talk to people, they're like, oh my gosh, I work like 20 hours a day. It's exhausting work. It's so hard. And I am just sitting there like,
you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Oh no, it's probably because I don't have as much cool opportunities as they do yet. So that's a problem. But basically, I wake up at like, I don't know, like 7 a.m. and I check emails and like do businessy stuff for an hour, hit the gym, come back. Usually I'll live stream while I get ready. Then I like to make content. Usually there's more emails to respond to. It's really important that you respond to emails fast. So I'm on it all freaking day. The Gmail is just there. So yeah, just a lot of creation. I'll spend quite a bit of time editing YouTube videos. And then if there are any sort of events, if I need to go film YouTube. So every day for me is pretty much different because you never know what brands you'll be involved with, what deals you need to work on, what side projects you'll be doing. So it's hard to say every day is different, but so far I'm in like I'm having an easy month. Hopefully next month gets kicked up a little bit more, but yeah, it's pretty go with the flow. It's really nice.
Of all the bits or the characters that you do you have a favorite?
No.
Really?
I always tell my followers this. They always want to know. And I'm always like, guys, I have to do this like 2 times a day, every single day. My favorite character is whichever one I have an idea for. Yeah. Like after you've made 105 Almond Mom videos, you're just scratching your head being like, crap, what do I do next?
Yeah. Where do you get all your inspiration from?
Ooh, this is basically, I have like a catalog of characters that I just feel like they're somehow connected to me in some way. Like I've seen them in pop culture. I identify them with somebody in my life. I see them in myself. So basically I have this cast of characters and I kind of know how they'll react to any situation ever. So basically what I'll do is I'll just like look through like word books. I'll ask my followers. I'll be like,
do you struggle with bloating, anxiety, constipation, fatigue, skin issues, or other nagging symptoms, but don't know where to start or what to take to truly fix it? If this sounds like you, we have the perfect company that you need to meet. Gut Personal is a personalized functional medicine supplement and coaching company that gets to the root of your gut issues. Unlike generic supplements, Gut Personal developed a quick 2-minute quiz. You know we love a quiz, where you'll receive personalized supplement recommendations from expert functional medicine dietitians. This way, you know exactly what supplements your body needs to get relief. I personally use the booster and the prebiotic for better digestion, and I know when I take it consistently, even my skin looks a lot better. So if you're tired with dealing with painful digestive issues or mood swings, PMS, go over to gutpersonal.com, take their quiz, and then you can get your custom supplement regimen today. So visit gutpersonal.com and use code SOFIRED10 to get a 10% discount on your first order.
Just like shuffling through different concepts, and I can just go like Almond Mom at the blank, Almond Mom when she does, and da 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 da. And I
like
just
Mad
come up
Libs.
with different, I just come up with a situation to put my character in, and I can pretty easily improv like 5 to 10 lines to make a storyline, or just 5 to 10 one-liners, because that's really all you need.
Oh, if you were to morph into one of your characters in real life, which one would you be?
Oh my gosh. I think I'd want to be Utah Girl, which not saying that I'm not Utah Girl, but just to fully dive into just that like effortlessly like out of touch with reality. I just love that. I would love that.
I'm a big fan of parenting. What is it? Parenting your
Gentle
boyfriend?
Parenting your boyfriend.
Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. I love it. I was like, I do that. I was like, no shit. This is a thing. And then like, do you like this one? Or do you like this one? Oh, okay. Is that too hard? Oh, okay. In 7 minutes, we're going to wrap this up. Okay. Oh my God. I was like, it's facts.
Not the wedding planning. It hits home a little too hard.
I know. I was like, yes.
My fiance was like, is that about me? And I was like, well, no, I just thought it was funny. And he's like, well, it looks like it's about me. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
does that ever, and that's a good question, is, so life impacts our art, right? So we pull some of from our life experiences. You talk about it with your mom on the podcast and then your fiance. Is there any kickback or slack when your family or friends know that you pulled inspiration from a particular event or like something that was said?
Well, I hope to God that my ex-boyfriends see Gentle Parenting Your Boyfriend and think it's about them. I really hope that happens. Gentle Parenting Your Boyfriend, honestly, my boyfriend helps me write them. So that one's not so much about him. And my mom, she knows that she's pretty much an almond mom, but she's been like really funny about it. She also helps me write material. She thinks it's super fun. So I don't think I would directly make fun of anybody who I thought would be a poor sport about it because I'm a coward. So,
and then they'll start trolling you. So tell us
we can't
what
do that.
No. So you said you were getting more trolls and more comments and people coming up with creative ways to insult you. Like, what has been the catalyst? And then, like, how have you been dealing with it?
Well, the catalyst, I think, is just like, the more people you have looking at you, the more chances there are that somebody nasty is going to be in there who hates you. Also, I think I've started sharing a little bit more of myself by like going on podcasts and going on Instagram stories as myself versus it's really hard to criticize somebody who's like, you don't know who they are, but once you start seeing like who they are, it makes it a little bit easier. So I think it's probably a combination of those two. It's kind of a weird thing that I'm like working through right now.
Well, can you explain to us, like you said at the top, you said, oh, you'd hear people talk about trolling. What's the big deal? It can't be that bad. But now you're starting to experience it on the other side of the coin. Can you tell me what that looks like? Because I'm that person that's like, what's the big deal? And I want to know, I believe you, but I want to know, what does that look like? Or like,
we're preparing for our future trolls as to how to handle them.
I want to start manifesting trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I used to always hear like celebrities or like influencers be like, oh my gosh, dealing with the haters is so hard. And I would be like, girl, what do you mean? Like, if one person calls you ugly, that's like not the end of the world. And like, I've always gotten comments like, you look like this, you're not funny, women aren't funny, da da da. And honestly, those do not bug me at all because I've never cared about that. It's like the least of my problems. But when it started bugging me is it's like, I think Tyler is a bigot. And here's why. And then you see something like that about you and you're like, oh, like what? Or like, Tyler seems like a really hateful, nasty person. And then they like cite specific things and you're like, do I take this seriously? Like, oh, this feels like actual like character assassination. And so for me, that's when it started making a difference because I didn't realize that you can see things about your character and then it's really hard to not look into them and be like, is this true about me? Am I like a horrible person? Yeah. So I think that's what I don't know because why you have to read that.
Do you so you have to read all of your comments, right? Are you constantly or how else? How else are you seeing these their comments then?
So the problem is that sometimes I swear this is like the most toxic thing, but you like want to like look up like press about yourself and like make sure like, okay, well, let's see what's getting there. Cause like, it's really important to save like your backlinks or like anytime you're being talked about like good or bad, you want to know, but then you come across like you're Googling yourself and something nasty comes up and you're like, oh, that's not what I was going for. This is not fun. Cause it doesn't happen in your comment section. Usually
where does it happen?
Like, something horrible. Happens in like Reddit and Twitter and just like random people will make like commentary reaction videos and then you're like, oh. Or sometimes even my followers will tell me, I'll be live streaming and somebody came on like 2 days ago and was like, did you hear so-and-so talking about you? And I was like, no. It's like, I'm not going to listen to it. I just have to know that it's probably bad and just ignore it.
I mean, so fired. You're taking up a lot of space in their mind. So they're thinking about you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
No, my fiance did the funniest thing. He came over and he was like, I have the solution. And he literally just shut my laptop.
Oh, shoot.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Yeah, I was like, I guess
have the solution.
It can't bug me. So.
I don't know. If you've ever had an argument with like an ex and they say one little thing and it's not true and it's not real, but they say it and it's like a chip in a windshield of glass and it's just the slightest crack and then it becomes like a thing and you can't stop thinking about it and you're like, no, it wasn't real in the first place. And you're like, oh, maybe. Oh, it drives me bananas. And the next thing you're like, I'm not crazy.
It's almost like it's just like you're just like your mother, and then everything you do, you're like, no, I'm not. This is something she would do. Fuck.
Right.
Do you ever feel like when you're creating content that since you came up as Almond Mom, now you're like Almond Mom forever and you can't pivot away from it? Or like, are you fine with that? Do you ever see yourself pivoting away?
I was worried about that in the beginning. So I worked really hard to like develop a couple different bits that I can do so that it's not like every day I have to wake up and come up with an Almond Mom bit. And even now I'm constantly testing new ones and getting rid of them. So like every week, maybe there's 3 or maybe there's like 2 or 3 new characters that I'll throw in. And if they don't work, I just don't do them again. But if they do work, it's like, yes, I have another one to add in that I don't have to rely on the other one so much.
Tyler, I'd like to offer my assistance. If you ever run out of content for Almond Mom, you should send me a DM. Because I'll just send it to you because I was thinking about it. I'm like, is my mom an Almond Mom? And I was like, I think she is. And then I thought of an example. Let me know what you guys think. I was at my wedding and I'm in my wedding dress. I'm the bride. And this person, oh my gosh, congratulations. You look so pretty. You look so skinny. Thanks. My mom then says, she's been a lot skinnier before.
Stop. That's a pretty on point.
Is that an Almond Mom?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Check.
She's got a lot of examples.
No, what it is I have so much content brimming, like oozing out of me. I feel so fired. Woo!
There you go. That's perfect.
Jesus. I was like, God damn it, Mom.
But she really creates a lot of content for us.
No, we're super grateful.
Yeah, I guess that's the so fired. You know, you make those lemons into lemonade.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Have you ever met Yolanda or talked to Yolanda?
No, but I'm always terrified that she'll like trademark the phrase Almond Mom and come for my life or something. That's always been scary to me. But
don't you think it's already been out in the public domain enough? Now it's just art that she can't.
Know. I've considered trademarking it myself because I think that would be so funny.
Yeah,
but it's a long road. So
it is a long road.
Let me tell you.
She has a jacket that she made and she's getting a patent done on it. And it's been like, how many years?
Many
years. 5.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So patents, trademark, copyright, all of it. It's such a good idea, but they really make you jump through a lot of hoops.
Hard.
I mean, and so expensive. And the barrier to entry is for some not that easy. It's kind of hard. Jeez.
So as us, we're like upcoming content creators, I would say. And like people who listen to this, don't we all just like not ever want to go to a 9-to-5 again and just like create content and podcasts and TikToks, right? Yes. So like, can you give us like 3 tips about how we can not be so miserable every day and actually do something that we love to do?
Can you help us get out of a miserable life?
I'm trying to not be a doctor, so this is mostly for me.
I'm just a waitress.
Actually? You're actually?
Yeah. I'm trying to retire.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So advice to grow on social media?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I think, honestly, I think nobody tells you this, but I think getting help, like getting like some sort of like mentor or coach to teach you like to be on you like a hawk. So you have somebody to like ask questions. You have somebody to keep you accountable. I think that is very helpful and nobody talks about that. Another tip I have is understanding what's important and what isn't. A lot of people will start out and they'll get caught up in stupid things like, oh, this doesn't look aesthetic on my feed. This doesn't that. But really what matters is just like providing value and being consistent, which is also annoying. Everybody is always like, be consistent.
Yeah. Add value.
Add value, which really people do not understand what adding value is. Adding value is creating something good enough that it should be shared with other people, that you'd be like, I want to share this with my mom, my sister, my family. And I like, here's why. That's the real key of, is your content valuable? And then third would be,
Two's good.
Yeah, two is good. I think that adding value, you make a good point, because every time I hear that, I feel like you have to learn something from it. But we're not here to educate anyone. We're just here to entertain.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's value in entertainment too. Like I'm a comedy creator, so it's not like I'm really like changing anyone's life with a 30-second comedy bit, but still there's like, it's shareable. So
I have two questions.
Yes.
Okay, and they're not similar. Let me just throw them out there.
Okay.
So you're acting essentially, right? Comedy creation. Did you have any of this experience, like previous experience?
Yeah, I grew up like always the kid doing school plays, always like I did it in high school, and then I actually went to school for musical theater in a musical theater conservatory program for 3 semesters, and then on semester 3 I just kind of had a panic moment, and I was like, oh, this industry is a disaster. I do not think this is a good move for me, never mind. So yes, I
you can tell.
Gave up my dreams to do marketing, and then this was like a fun way to still be creative and act. And it ended up working out really well for me.
So fired.
So fired.
Yeah, very fired.
Okay, so since Almond Mom is yours, right? And she is what you envision in your character and extension, whatever. Does the Almond Mom ever learn? Like, does Almond Mom ever like see the light and is like, oh, I've been flawed in my thinking. You're right.
Yeah. So as far as skits go, I think there are some skits where I've worked in a moment of clarity, but it's kind of like Tom and Jerry, where it's like it resets. There's like no storyline for that one. It's just like it really is like a short bit that you just see and are like, oh yeah, that's my mom. Funny. Haha. Yeah. But I do hope that in real life, almond moms are progressing and learning. I know my almond mom has like really come so far. I know even if I had kids, I would probably be considered an almond mom, and I've come so far. So yeah, I think the IRL ones are learning.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, but evolving doesn't make for good comedy, I guess, all the time.
We don't want evolution. No. Stay stuck.
Yeah. So what is next for Almond Mom or all of your characters?
Ooh, I don't know.
Characters.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to the holidays because that is just the funnest time to create content, because there's just like Almond Mom at Halloween, Almond Mom at Christmas, Almond Mom at Thanksgiving. That's always my favorite thing to do. So that's probably what's next for all of them. I have that van life series that I do, and I'm
I do love it.
Excited because I just got a collaboration with a van company, and we're doing like a big project actually in a van, which is so exciting.
Oh, that's really cool.
Wow.
Congrats.
Yay, congrats. That is
Thank
exciting.
you. So fun things on the horizon for sure.
Wonderful.
Wow. Wonderful. Okay. Well, do you have anything else coming up or projects to plug?
I mean, everybody should subscribe to my YouTube because that is like kind of an evolving project right now, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Where on YouTube? How can they find you?
I'm at Tyler Benderr. Benderr has 2 R's at the end.
Nice.
Tyler Benderr.
Yeah.
Yeah. On YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Yes.
Literally everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. And you also have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, the Almond Pod. Go check that out. We're on Spotify, Apple, and then we have our own social pages on TikTok and Instagram.
Perfect. Yay. Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for being our guest. This was super fun. And everyone, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and share this with your bestie. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.